Hello! Hi everybody, how are we doing? Welcome back to the Colour Cave. And who have we got in the chat already? We've got pink under hands from Patty, who is an iceberg and needs to warm up. Oh Patty, I'm sorry. And we've got Daria. Hello Daria, how are you doing? And we've got Danny Sprinkles. Hello Danny. It's minus 13, but it feels colder nonchalantly. It's minus 13, you crazy Canadians. Hi Angela, and we've got Colouring with D as well. Good morning to you, to you too, even, madame. Danny Sprinkle says it's a gem. Yes, it is. Here I am here. I hope you're all doing pretty well today. Hey Mary, how's it going? We do not have a Ms. Theosaurus today, which I'm sure you'll all agree we will miss her deeply. But she has more than served her duties in the live stream chat for long and weary, so she's allowed a day off today. I'm just having a wee limber up here. It's not been terribly cold, but it's been dropping quite cold at night. And I went out quite early on this morning, and my hand's quite stiff, so I'm just giving my squeezy thing a wee squeeze to get me going. As per usual, I hope that sound and light is okay. We've got sunshine. This bright thing coming through the window. I don't know what to do with it. It's actually quite nice for a wee change. But the weather's to be pretty good now for the next while, although cold. Scotland is going to be cold. Not Canada cold, but cold enough to see ice. Hello Michelle Taylor. Wavy wavy. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. That window is blinding. I know that's the blind down as well, Danny. Obviously because it's white, all the light bounces through. But yeah, we've got proper sunshine today. It's quite nice. That's just a novelty, I tell you. Anyway, I hope you're all having a good Wednesday. I've had a bit of an odd morning. I was feeling a wee bit ropey earlier, and I thought to myself, oh, this isn't great. I'm just putting it down to there's a lot going on just now. There's a lot going on. We've finally got, as Jan would call it. I don't think Jan is here yet, but Jan would call it the Lego wing, and she's talking about the extension that's been built in her house. It's not a wing to put more Lego in. I am having a utility room built on. And we're extending our kitchen into what was the old utility room. So the plans for that are finally underway. It has taken us 18 months to find builders, get planning permission, do all the bit, but the ball is rolling with that, so there's quite a lot going on there. And obviously we've got the Mama Gem situation, which is ongoing, and I've been doing a lot of physical exercise. Although my dietary changes have been very gradual over the last 12 months, I've really ramped up my physical activity in the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I think it's just all those things together. And this morning when I was out running, my legs were like, what are you doing? And I actually didn't think I was going to make it round. I don't think my legs were going to let me this morning. But here I am, and I'm feeling a bit better now. I've perked up a bit. I've got a wee second wind from somewhere, which is probably just as well seen as we're here. So that's all good and well. Michelle usually watches on catch up. Shh, it's okay, you're not here. I don't know who you're talking about. What? Who said that? Danny says the birdies must be living it up in such good weather. Yes, they're quite active. I've got a little cohort of sparrows that come in the afternoon, and they kind of come as a group, and they like to have a wee chit chat to each other while they're at the feeder on the actual window here. There was 5 of them at one point today, all squabbling amongst themselves. So yeah, they're having a ball as well. It's all good. So today, I have as the title suggests, it's pencils, but it's not pencils. What I want to start to do today is do some work on the new set of Cave Collection stickers. So for those of you that aren't aware, I think most of you probably are, the last set of Cave Collection stickers was basically just like inside jokes for us cavers. And that pack of stickers has been available forever, and I felt it was time. Like we need to move on. We need to evolve. So we had a wee bit of discussion last week in the live stream about what might make a good Cave Collection sticker. So I want to work on some of those ideas for a wee while today. I've also had an influx of scrapbooking stuff, and I'd like to start picking out some materials for a new scrapbook page. And I would love it if you would give me your input and maybe help me pick a theme or something like that. But we'll do that a wee bit later on. We'll do some drawing and stuff first. So I hope that's okay with all of you. I hope you don't mind. But first and foremost, I have a much more pressing issue. Some of you might know that I've got a bit of a fixation with receptacles and containers. I like tins and like big jars and stuff. And quite a while ago, Mr. Jem and I went to our local like frozen food warehouse place, is the only way I can describe it. For those of you in the UK, it's the Food Warehouse, which is owned by Iceland. And we have a massive chest freezer in our garage, and every now and then we fill it up, like all the way up, in case we can't get out for some reason, weather, etc. And while we were there, Mr. Jem, who has a sort of permanent sweet tooth, he found this dessert, and it was it's an M&M's dessert, but it was like layered, so it was like sponge and chocolate and brownies. I'm like, oh, calorie-tastic, but he really wanted it, so I said, look, buy it and we'll whip it out at some point and eat it. Well, took it out the freezer the other night. This is what it came in. And I looked at it straight away and I said to him, when are you going to eat this dessert? And he was like, oh, well, I'll have a bit of it today, maybe eat some tomorrow. And I kept at him. I was like, when are you going to finish that? And eventually he said to me, what's your problem? And he was thinking that I didn't want it lying around because it would be temptation and I would want to eat it, but I don't really have much of a sweet tooth. And he realised, and he's like, you want the tub that it's in, don't you? And I'm like, yeah, pretty much. So I need to decide what to keep in this, because it's a very odd shape, but I think it's really pretty. And I'm like, do I keep art supplies in it, or like what am I using this for, guys? So if anybody has any suggestions, I am totally up for it, because it's sitting here ready to be loved, and I feel like I need to love it and put things in. I tell you, I know, like I'm special, it's fine, but I just really like it. I really like the shape. It's not practical in terms of shape for putting things in, but I'm like, going to use it for something. So yeah, I'll take any suggestions for that. Is there a lid? Hi Jan, nice to see you. No, there is no lid. The dessert basically came up like this. It was an absolute, like, honestly, cavity nightmare. Like, I could feel my teeth rotting just looking at it. I had a tiny little bit of it and it was so sickly. I was like, oh god, I'm not eating that. So it's just like yeah, it's like a weird shaped bowl, I suppose, but it's plastic. It's plastic. It can be recycled, but I would rather recycle it in a more creative fashion than putting it into the recycling bin. So yes, only one option, weird gel. Imagine its silly shape all jiggly. Yeah, that would be interesting. I kind of wish I liked jelly. I don't really like the texture of it. But again, sweet tooth, not for me. I could just fill it with Jack Daniels, couldn't I? That's a great idea. Could make some Jack Daniels sorbet. That reminds me, many moons ago, I'm off on a tangent here already. Many moons ago, when I stayed on the west coast of Scotland, which is where I'm from, myself and a couple of friends went out in a town that we wouldn't normally go out in, and it was during the day. We'd been at the beach and we decided to go into a pub, and the nearest pub was like what we would call a proper old man's pub, like spit and sawdust, really old fashioned. And like the regulars all had their own pint glass with their names on it and all this sort of stuff. And we went in there and they had a slushy machine, and it was Jack Daniels and Coke slushies. I have never been so happy in my entire life. That has like been a highlight of my Jack Daniels career, going into that pub. I don't know if it's even still there, let alone whether they still serve Jack Daniels slushies. That might be a road trip. Don't care much for Jello myself, the first thing that came to mind. Hello Rika, how you doing? You cannot risk spilling JD, and that could spill. Well, my thinking is, Jan, it's got the same shape as the proper Jack Daniel's glasses, with the, you know, the square but with rounded corners, because you're supposed to sip from the corner. Wonder how many measures of Jack Daniel's is that in there, with Pepsi obviously. I would say it's probably about 8 or 10, just eyeballing it, you know. God. Anyway, Jan wants JD slushies. Yes, yes. Right, so anywho, enough waffling. Let's do this. Got my poor sketchbook here, and I will get to where I was going. There's all sorts in here now. This is becoming quite a characterful sketchbook. Okay, so I'd started to do doodle stuff here, which I'll talk about in a minute. I've covered this up. The person that sent me this is in the chat, and to said person, I've covered it up just in case you didn't want identified, just because, you know, I've got a thing about people's privacy, so that's why there's a sticker over that. There's no personal identifying information, but I just didn't know whether said person would want that to be on display or not. So you can see here, for those of you that aren't on Instagram or TikTok, this was one of my ink splodges. I made it into a lemon. That is the last of the big ones. If I turn it over, you can see the opposite side, but the rest of the pages now are relatively unscathed. This is a long story. There's things further on. My niece was drawing me things. Yeah, anyway. So, anywho's. Use it as a scrapbook mystery box, fill it with bits, mix it up and do a page. Oh, I like that, Patty. Oh, enough for a charity live stream. I bloody hope so. God. Yeah, definitely. Y'all aren't enablers at all when it comes to Jack Daniels, are you? Mr. Jem and I were talking the other night as well. Something weird that's happened. I think I might have mentioned this last week, actually. Every year at Christmas time, I buy a bottle of Jack Daniel's Fire, and I always drink it over the festive period. I bought one this year and never opened it. It's sitting on the shelf. Something wrong there, isn't there? Speaking of Jack Daniel's, Canadians might not be able to get it soon. Yeah, oh, you guys have got a lot of stuff going on there. I was seeing that in our news here in the UK that apparently Mr. Trump is going to go easy on us in terms of the tariffs, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Okay, we'll deal with that when the time comes. The light is so weird. I don't know what to do about this, because I'm like, hang on a little second. Oh, does that help? Is that worse? It's not really any better, is it? Luckily, Jan's collection is extensive. Waiting for your silly bowl. You're going to drive up to help you with the JD. Oh. I don't know if I need assistance, but I'm always happy to have a compadre for it, that's for sure. Is this better light-wise, guys? I feel like the light's a bit more even with the studio light on above. Is it just me? Any feedback on that would be appreciated. I'm just going to turn you all round a wee bit. You're at a kind of jaunty angle there as well. Right, okay. Anywho, while I'm waiting for your replies on that, the idea is here. So if I just jump to this page here, I think the pink other hand needs to be a thing. The problem with, well, I don't even know if it's a problem, honestly. This emoji obviously is in the YouTube sphere. And we have like a modified version on the Discord, which I drew by hand and made into a little emote for the Discord. So I don't know if I'm going to have to be careful in terms of copyright. I don't know if the emojis are copyrighted or not. I'm going to look into it. But that, I feel like that really kind of belongs in this next set of stickers. Definitely the pointy point, and this was kind of the idea that I had. I feel like this shape is something that we need, and this here was the start of something that might be the hillbilly internet. I'm not entirely sure yet. And then I was going to start down here with something to do with light sources, because I feel like that's something that should be in the sticker pack. rubbers and pencil sharpeners. I don't know if I actually don't have that many pencil sharpeners now, honestly, Mary. Oh, Jock's making a den, can you hear him? Are you okay, Jock? It doesn't look very... Jock's been a bit off as well this last little while. He's getting a wee bit... He's getting a wee bit grumpy. He's had a couple of days where he doesn't want to be disturbed and he's just a bit kind of off. I think it's just old age, honestly. He's not sick or anything. We're keeping an eye on him, but he's just been a bit weird. Special dispensation because he's old. There he goes, chucked himself down. We're going to, once the work and the extension's finished, which will hopefully be by the end of May, there's going to be a little reconfiguration in here, and I'm going to get Jock a second orthopaedic bed. The bed that he sleeps in overnight is one, and he really likes it, so I'm going to get him another one for in here because he doesn't seem to be happy in this one, which is a plastic bed that's got really thick yoga mats in the bottom of it, but he's also got a blanket under this desk just over here, and he can't seem to settle between the two, and I don't know whether it's his old bones are bothering him. So when we get everything shifted round, I've got a chair over here that's like a sofa bed that pulls out. Pip sits on it sometimes, but not very often. That's going to go through to one of the other rooms, so I'm going to put an orthopaedic bed for Jock in there, and hopefully he'll be a little bit more settled, a little bit more comfortable. Anyway, can't really drive up worried about the light sources with a trip. Patty's leaving for Florida in a couple of weeks. Part of you wants to cancel, the other doesn't want to lose all the money. Honestly, Patty, I think you maybe need it just for the sunshine and the heat. Well, heat, I mean, it's been snowing in Florida, hasn't it? But it'll be a damn sight warmer than Canada, so you have to weigh these things up, you know. But totally understand where you're coming from. He's a wee bit old for yoga. Do you know, it's funny you should say that, Jan, because when I do yoga, Jock comes over and assists me. The minute I lie on my back for Shavasana, which is the final resting pose, he comes and he lies in, because you put your arms out, you know, like this, and he lies in here on his back and he does Shavasana with me, so there you go. Hello Dominique, how are you? Good morning to you too. Right, so these are my sort of ideas. I want to start with the pointy point. So the kind of thing I need to look at today is the actual style of the pencil part, because I did kind of want the Cave logo pencil, but it's got a very rounded very rounded top on it compared to, you know, like what I actually want. I want like a super like pointy point. But the other thing as well is what to do with the actual font. Do I want something jaggy and pointy, because that would be kind of fitting. I kind of like that idea as well, but I don't want it to be unreadable, so that's kind of what I want to work on as a starting point today. I'm waggling this pencil about. This is an HB pencil. It's just one I picked out of the tub of disasters over here. Hello Susan, how are you? Okay, so the other thing as well is I need to pick a colour for this pencil for the pointy point. I was thinking turquoise, just because the background for the Cave colours is obviously sort of turquoisey bluey colours. I thought that might be a nice starting point. I had a little bit of tracing paper, it's disappeared. I'll just get another sticky note. I just want to put that over here. This is pencil, so I don't want to smudge it everywhere. Let's do that. There you go, little lemon, go for a sleep. Everything will be fine. Dominique will be leaving in for your haircut appointment. Oh, that's exciting. I need one of those. Are you having anything exciting done, Dominique? Or are you just going for a trim? Or a colour? Ooh, cut and colour. Not sure how I want it to be this time. Oh, it's going to be a surprise. That's even better. Well, you can keep us up to date with that in a future stream. Patty, it's so weird having you on the phone and TV. So I have a gem echo. Well, turn one of them off then. Hello, Marilise. How are you? Right, okay, so let's think about pencil styles, because when it comes to the old bit coloured pencils, you've got the round barrel pencils. So when you're coming down to this sort of shape, you know, you would have more of a curved line there. This sort of idea. And what that would allow for, which might be quite nice, is we could get some really nice shading, you know, on the barrel part. You know, we could get a really nice curve going there, and you all know I like a nice curve when it comes to pencil. When it comes to shading, we could have a wee highlight that runs all the way down there. That would be quite good. But then we could go like kind of like I did over this side, like a more traditional, like a hexagonal shape. So if we did something like that, then you would have your, you know, this sort of idea with your different facets. But again, you could use that to your advantage, couldn't you? And we could have, you know, a really dark part and then a lighter part and then the lightest part. But we also need to consider how pointy a point we want as well, and I think this is probably the most important part. Do we go for a Tagal sharpener number 5 point? And y'all know what I'm talking about, that's the best thing. Like a really pointy point. Like that. Like, oh, that's a pointy point, that one. And also how much of the exposed would we want? Because if we wanted to be really fancy, we could have like a slight sort of texture in there as well. But I don't know if that would take away from the sticker in its entirety. It might be a little bit too much, to be honest. I feel like I want a chunkier barrel though. Just from the perspective that most of the coloured pencils that I use have a slightly thicker diameter. So I don't know, like how pointy a point do we want? You know, we don't want it to be ridiculous though, do we? And we need to make sure that this is going to be properly, you know, I wouldn't freehand that, I would actually draw that out properly. I don't think I want to do an entire pencil because I was thinking about writing on the barrel and things, but I want my stickers to be a reasonable size so that people have got options and, you know, like maximum places they can stick it basically. Looking for sassy. Oh, Susan's had a late lunch again. It was cut last July. Well, I'm the same, Dominique. I haven't had a haircut since last March, and that's why I'm sorely needing one. So I feel you on that. Sassy. I like sassy. Sassy's good. Maybe sacrilegious, but maybe the barrel colour could be light green and the lead could be dark green to get the full gradient in. I will not discount that, Danny. I think that's a fairly sensible idea. Light looks fine to me, thank you, Mary. You love the internet one. Well, that's just a starting point. I think we could work on that. Danny would go with a comically long lead for sure. Patty says we need a squirrel, llama, cow, and I do, holding a pencil. I do, like a pigeon. That's what we call a pigeon, I do. Or is it meant to? Oh, dog, right? It's a dog. Well, again, we had an animal pack of stickers for a little while as well. That's now gone. That is no longer available. So maybe we could keep those ideas for an animal pack. So I'm gonna write them down on this other side here. Okay, so what did Patty say there? A squirrel. A llama, obviously, because we've got to have llamas. I kind of want an owl in things now, because I've got a thing for owls. Our little resident owl. We've got a barn owl in one of the sheds. He stopped squawking as if he's trying to kill something, and he started just going back to like his hoo-hoos, which I really like hearing his hoo-hoos at night. Makes me happy. A cow. And a dog. Right, okay. We shall bear those in mind for future reference, Patty. Dominique likes the pigeon. Yeah, I do. A flappy do, that's a pigeon. Susan, do you use flappy do? I think it's quite an old-fashioned term. Okay. So for me, this part's really easy. Like once I've made the decision, the actual drawing of said sticker isn't a problem. Lettering is an entirely different story. I feel like it should be some sort of jagged lettering though, but it needs to be readable, especially if we're going to go, you know, like this at this angle. And I kind of like, you know, I kind of like this, you know, because that is the pointy point. So in terms of lettering, do we want something a pointy point? Like that? Or do we want something, you know, a bit more kind of block? You know, like bolder. Maybe a bit rounder. See, I'm open to any suggestions, guys, because this is purely like the brain fart stage, and this is probably my favourite part. I like the sort of the thought process and the design process part. So I feel like that would have more impact if it was wedged either side of our pencil. Or do we have like a really scratchy like pencil? Because you know how when I'm drawing, like when I'm sketching things out, I tend not to use smooth lines just because of my hand. You know, I'm a very sort of staccato, you know, broken line person when I'm sketching out my initial whatevers. So maybe we could. I'm trying not to revert back to my own handwriting here, but I think it's kind of inevitable. I mean, we could still make it bold. We could still make it really dark. My own handwriting personally wouldn't be any use because I have very cursive. That's my normal handwriting, and I don't feel that fits in with what we're doing. The word point has now also lost all meaning to me. Not one that you use, Susan. Okay, just checking. A rookie do, okay. The first looks charmingly camp looking, this one. Thinner lines like it's written by the pointy point. Dominique likes the second one, the bolder one. Okay. Happy for your input. Maybe we could get somewhere between the two, actually. Okay, let's try. Notwithstanding how pointy or long our point's going to be, we'll just test these out. Excuse me. Yeah, pointy doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Oh no. And then we can have our little ta-da. I don't know how I feel. Yeah. Okay. That is so off, my goodness. Go home, Jem, you're drunk. I think it's because I had my head slightly cocked there. Oh, jeez. Right, let's try it. Let's try that again. So we'll get our little makeshift pencil in here. So what's occurred to me now is that the size of the font is now going to be dictated by how long that point is. So we might have to have a bit of a longer point so that the lettering fits in. I don't know how I feel about either of those, honestly. I'm not sold on it. Definitely needs to be a silly point. It's the bowl full of JD that did it. Could do it to match the It's a Pencil sticker, so just the top bit. Well, see, the pencil point on the It's a Pencil sticker is actually wonky. I don't know if any of you noticed that, but it's really off. I never fixed it. I just kept it as a sticker. I could use the same lettering as I did for It's a Pencil though, because I've actually got that saved. That is it's an actual font, and you can use it for commercial use, so we could try that. And Susan's just said the same thing. Hello Yana, how are you? Nice to see you. Well, we could definitely try for that. I don't think I've got an It's a Pencil sticker kicking about. They're all gone. But definitely that would be a thing. I think I like that idea. Okay, I think we're on to something. That would give us continuity as well, which I really like. Like, that appeals to my organised, obsessive self. So yes, good. It's a Pencil font. Okay, I like that a lot. Good thinking, guys. In terms of colours, I've got somewhere, my Prismacolors are just randomly kicking about today. So, have I got my swatch book somewhere? I'm sure it was kicking about somewhere too. Oh yes, it's underneath the ridiculous bowl that we haven't decided what we're doing with yet. So, this is something actually that I've not done. I have not matched any coloured pencils to the Cave logo. So I'm going to go and get one of the stickers. So I've got a reference. You okay down there? You doing alright? Chuck's like, yeah. Okay. Righty McCoho. Let's see how good our colour matching skills are. So we're going to be into turquoisey colours. So light aqua's fairly close. Light aqua. Or bleu vert pâle. Light aqua. Okay, and the blue, this blue is actually, it's got quite a lot of like a purpley shade in it, which I've never noticed. Obviously, I mean, the print versions of everything always come out slightly different, just depends on the printer. But that violet blue, that's a wee bit too, helps if you can see it, sorry guys. The violet blue is maybe a wee bit too violet, but the Indanthrene, I mean, I could do this digitally and use the hex codes and then match it up, but we're not being that technical today. We're just in the exploratory stage. I think, honestly, the violet blue is probably the closest, just for the purposes of testing things out today. You just spotted an It's a Pencil sticker on the front of your book. Yep. So if you look at the point, you can actually see it there, it curves down the way. I totally free-handed that and just eyeballed it, but if I turn it that way, it's blatantly obvious that it's a wonky pencil. I think this font might look quite good though. I think that's a good choice. I had it in my mind that I was going to hand write the lettering, but I'm quite happy to use this font. As I say, it's licensed for commercial use, so it's no problem for me to use this. I don't even look at these stickers on the front of this anymore. There's one on the back, there's some on the back as well. This was a misprint, that was the only reason that I stuck it on there. And this was obviously back in the bad old days when we used to get the same scroller box sticker all the time. Random. Definitely the spiky version. Well, I think I'll mock up a few of them and we can decide what's what. Right, so let's see. Pencils. I might try with the... I kind of want to try with the ultramarine, just in the Prismacolor. See, the only reason I'm using these is because they're right beside me anyway. Blue violet. Okay. It goes without saying I'm going to need a sharpener because that is most definitely not a pointy point. Right, okay, pencil sharpen. The chat seems to be really slow in coming through today. Like, I know you guys you're responding as soon as you're seeing it, but there seems to be a massive lag. I wonder if I can speed this up. I don't want to screw anything up though. Stream settings. Can we do anything about this? I can't change the latency now, unfortunately. I thought I could do that mid-stream. Apparently not. Okay, I will just have to wait patiently for your replies. So when I'm using Prismacolors, I normally have this on a number 2 setting on account of these pencils being really soft and crumbly. So let's just have a wee sharpen. Just realised the video stream was 6 minutes behind the chat. That's weird, like what's going on? I mean, everything's good this end. I don't have a single dropped frame at all, and everything's running really well here, so I don't think I can help you there, Miri. Oh, that's a good pointy point. See, you don't need a long point. Oh, that almost fits in there, look. That's funny. Well odd. That's so funny. Your internet's playing tricks on you. Maybe I've transferred my hillbilly internet to you. Nah, I bet you didn't think of that. Maybe it's infectious. Okay. Right, okay, well we've got a more or less naked pencil here. Naked pencil. So if we had, I feel like a round barrel would be better because that will let me do some nice. Oh, my hand is not happy today, geez. That would let me do some nice sort of gradienty stuff. But we can incorporate the two colours. I mean, they're not next door to each other on the colour wheel, but we can put some of that down. Right, let's try with the blue violet because that was the closest colour. But we could use this as our shadow colour. Whee! This might be fun. Jem likes this. It does look quite purpley there. But if we fire down, again, I'm not necessarily going to use Prismacolors. Like, I might change my mind. But that's not entirely out of the way. What that would also give us as well, you know, I'm always banging on about contrast. Obviously, the stickers have got like a very small, like white margin all the way around them. So if we used this, that would give us really nice contrast against that white margin on the sticker. And obviously, I mean, we blend it out properly. We're not going to leave it like this. Well, I might just for fun to annoy people. But we could do something like that, and we can play about. We could move the like the highlight and stuff as well. Jem likes a gradient. There's another sticker right there, Ulrika. Jem loves a good gradient. I really do. And I know where it comes from as well. That's the best part of it. This is quite topical for me just now. When I was a whippersnapper back in the dark ages, when Microsoft Publisher first came out, and I don't know how many of you are familiar with Microsoft Publisher, Microsoft Publisher was the bee's knees, and I always wanted to have like a creative way to use the computer that wasn't Paint, because I wanted to stick lettering in and like just design stuff. Like that's always been there for me even since I was like really young and we had our first like home computer. And Publisher was like a godsend to me, and I used it for everything. I used to do headed notepaper for my mum and dad's business when I was young, and I used to do leaflets. you know, all that kind of stuff. I absolutely loved it, and to this day I have held on to Microsoft Publisher for grim death because I still love it. But one of the things that you could do was you could put a gradient background in, and you could put a gradient into your fonts and your word art, and that was my first experience of anything digital in terms of colour, and I loved it. And basically everything I did had a gradient somewhere, because again, back in the like mid to late 1990s, that was a thing. That's why I love a gradient. I got an email about 3 months ago from Microsoft saying that they are stopping Publisher. Like, that's it. It's going to be dead in the water pretty soon, because most of the features that you get in Publisher you can now get in Microsoft Word, and I am genuinely devastated by that, because up until I got my iPad I was still doing thumbnails for YouTube in Publisher, and I still like doing it, but the iPad is much more convenient now in Procreate, obviously. There are many reasons why, but I can't let go of it, so that's why I like a gradient. Sorry, MIA for the last 15 minutes, had to do some work. I love how you all come in here and apologise for having to go and do stuff in like your actual lives, especially things like when you're supposed to be doing some work. Like, please don't apologise for that. I'm just really happy that you're like hanging about in the background. It's nice to have you all here. Minnie still uses gradients and stuff for her vlog. Yes! Yeah, honestly, Microsoft Publisher is so, like, it's so much fun. So much fun. Well, it's still available, but I think they're stopping support for it later in the year. I think I might be telling you lies here, but I think it's like July or something. But yeah, that is the sole reason that I love a gradient. That's where it comes from. So for our point, which would obviously, again, I would use a much harder pencil. Like, Prismacolors are terrible for this. This was a terrible idea. Let me just zoom in a wee bitty. I'm trying to put this on manual. Come on, hand, you can do it. Like, honestly, my hand is not working today at all. For the point, I would maybe keep the darker colour, whatever that may be, to a very, like, to the very minimum. Just a little bit either side. That might work. Mary's currently doing something in Photoshop Elements which may end up with a gradient. At work we use a gradient on all our branding too. I just love a gradient. Like, there's something so satisfying about it. Okay, so that's with the that is with the, oh come on Gem, the violet blue, which to be fair I think is a fairly good match for the logo. See, if I stick that next to that, you'd be like, yeah. So let's try up on this one with the other blue, which is the ultramarine. With, like, that's an excellent point. I'm really pleased with that. That's really wonky. Wow. Let's I'm gonna have to get a new kneaded eraser. This one's about past its best. But that was an accidental match to my sketchbook. That wasn't on purpose. But it's really grubby now. I've missed my opportunity, but I did have the option of getting one of the big, like, commercial boxes of Brunswick, like, kneaded erasers with all the different colours in, and I missed out on it, and I kind of wish I'd bought them, because I would have put them in the shop, you know, like taking a couple for myself and then stuck the rest of them on the shop. But never mind, there will be other opportunities. Right, so let's get a bit more of a pointy point on the go here. Get a wee bit of colour down. On here. Nice. Come on. Maybe we could have the light source. Just on one side. See, that looks more purpley than this to me. Does it not? It looks really, yeah, I don't know if I like that. I think myself and Prismacolor are going to have words here. Let's see what happens if we smash down some Some of the old... Oh, eh? Don't know how I feel about it. There doesn't actually look like that much of a difference, does there? Is it just me, or does that look more... Am I losing my marbles, guys? I think that looks more violet. That might have more impact like that, though. You know, just with the light source off to one side. I need to get my little brushy brush out as well, goodness me. Interesting. That point looks like a Takao number 3 at best. Thank you, Ulrika. I actually thought I was losing my marbles. Yeah, Susan agrees as well. The first one's a better colour. Well, I mean, I can probably get a better match with, you know, I've got like 6 billion. Okay, slight exaggeration. I have a lot of pencil sets. I'm sure I could get a closer match. But yeah, that seems really purple, doesn't it? The other question is, do we have? Because what I was, bear with me here. If we kept the core of the pencil one colour, we could use the other colour for the actual lettering, and I would use the darker colour for that so that the lettering actually stood out. So that could be a thing also. And then for our little exclamation pointy points, I could just do what I've done down there and have like a shadow edge, but it would be that side so that it matches the pencil. That might be quite nice. We could try that. 5.9 billion. No, I mean, I have slimmed down my pencil collection quite considerably. I remember, again, I don't know what stream it was in because we've done quite a few of these Wednesday streams now. But one of the sets that I really didn't get on with and I really wanted to like was the Black Widow pencils. I couldn't get on with them at all. But I mean, I've still got sets of pencils that I don't really use, and I'm very like, very much stick to my principles in that I feel if you've got especially expensive art supplies, see if you're not using them, get them to someone who will give them a good comb and love them and use them. And the set of pencils that's coming to mind that are kind of neglected, honestly, is the Caran d'Ache Pablos. They're lovely pencils, but I hardly ever use them. It's not a pencil that I would just go to and pick up. And I don't know why, because I really like them. But it's just not something that sort of cycles through my brain. I'm going to stick with the ultramarine for this just because that's what I was using already. But I just want to see what... Oh, it does look really purple, doesn't it? Oh. Kind of like that. Yeah, I think that'll look quite nice. It'll kind of like keep the cohesiveness of a sticker. Does that make sense? Mary loves her Black Widows, but must admit don't use them as often. Tend to stick to either Polly's Luminance or Castle Arts. Yeah. Hello, Martine. How are you? You doing okay? You like the other pencils more? Well, yeah, I think that's what it is, Jan. I mean, even like the likes of the Luminance pencils, they are not my favourite top end pencils. I much prefer the Derwent Lightfast pencils. But there's a lot of colours in the Luminance set that I use. So I'm kind of more selective with that. But collectively, the Pablos are just like an afterthought. And I feel terrible because they are really nice pencils. Definitely too much purple, yeah. Well, that's the thing, Danny. I've got a full set of them. Like I've literally, and I'm seriously contemplating if someone was willing to pay reasonable money for them because they are used. I think I would. I'm at the point where I would probably part with them, and it wouldn't begrudgingly. I would rather someone actually use them, especially maybe someone that doesn't have, you know, a more expensive set of pencils. Yeah, right. So if I just pull out there a wee bit with the camera. What do we think to light sources and shading? Do we prefer this? I mean, I know that looks really stripy. We would soften that out. Do we prefer this idea, or do we prefer having something a bit more structured. You use all your Derwent's Mini Chroma Flow drawing. Well, I like the drawing pencils. I like the artist pencils as well. See, for fur, because they're really hard. I really like them for that. Danny's reasonably interested. Well, maybe Danny, you and I can have a wee chat about that away from the stream. Because if it's something that's feasible, obviously we have a body of water between us, which might be a factor. But I would be willing to have a chat with you about that, because I really don't use them, and I say as a full set, but some of them are quite short. Okay, so maybe you and I, do you want to send me an email, or you could message me on Instagram if you want, and we could maybe have a wee chat about that. Ulrika's away to make a brew. Off you go. Martine likes the one on the left. You like this one better. Centre light source. Yep. Okay. Excellent. Hello. Is it Lisa or Liza? I think I've asked you this before. Hello. I hadn't seen you in the chat before now, so hi. Okay, see, this is good. I knew this was a good idea to do this in the stream, because you guys are like, I trust your judgment, genuinely, and at the end of the day, these stickers really are geared towards you, because you're the guys that show up all the time, and you know the in-jokes, and, you know, there's a sticker pack for you. So this is all good. It's all good. Right, I kind of like that. I've got a wee cream pencil here. Thinking about barrel colour now. I think I would pop the cream down first, because obviously when I do actually do a version of this sticker, I'm going to do it in pencil, because it would be blasphemy to do it in like watercolour or digitally. But we're going to need something a bit more exciting. Let me just squish myself back over here. I do really like, I feel as if I've been bashing the Prismacolor pencils a lot recently. I mean, I really like them, and I love the colours, and I'm actually quite glad that I'm using them today. Wrong way, Gem, come on now. I've got two very short pencils that are rolling about here. Got two green pencils that are almost past their prime. I don't even know if I've got spares, honestly. I've got a tin of loose Prismacolors that I have acquired from various spots, but I don't know if those particular colours are in there. Right, opposite end, here we go. I feel like the peach beige might be helpful right now. Trust me, you foolish child. You foolish child. They really aren't for everything or everyone. I think that's a very accurate statement, Danny. I really do. But see, Miri's saying about build quality and the layering not potential. What's the opposite of potential? The problem for me is the price of them. Being in the UK, they are not a premium pencil, but it's premium prices to get them. And the reason that I justify that they are not a premium pencil is, as Miri says, the build quality, but also because they're so soft, how quickly you use them up. I mean, I chew through these, and you know, when you compare it to like a Polychromos pencil, and those prices are quite, well, the Prismas have been slightly more expensive than the Polys to buy in the UK, but I can get, like, I've only replaced like 3 Polychromos pencils in the entire time I've been doing this, and I started using them in 2017. And I've lost count of how many of these I've replaced, and I use my Polychromos pencils way more than I use Prismacolors, so I feel like they're kind of a bit of a false economy unless you're in the US, where obviously they're much cheaper. That's obviously just my opinion, but that's subjective, obviously. So yeah, I thought like maybe if we use the cream and the beige peach, for example, here, we could have a wee bit of texture without actually making it like really obvious. And again, we can follow that light source being, you know, like square on down the middle. So we could still have a really nice defined line round the outside, which is going to separate it from the text. But we could have a fairly smooth something like this. Brush. And then we could take a darker colour. This might seem like an odd choice, but bear with me. The Artichoke pencil. I love this pencil. Great colour. One of the reasons I like Prismacolors. Susan's 2 AM AliExpress order just arrived. It's like a mystery box. I never remember what I bought. Is that because you ordered it so long ago? That's hilarious. Now, Daria's chiming in here. Daria is, she's a Prismacolor connoisseur. The only Prismas that I use are the very different colours, like the Grade Lavender, love that colour. Clay Rose, Pale Sage, Black Cherry, Periwinkle, Artichoke. Yep. But that's a great reason to have a set of pencils like that though, Daria. Like, I kind of feel the same way about the Luminance pencils. Danny looked into a case of nearly full lineup, 140 pencils for $70 US dollars. They're fair. I can't imagine paying an international price for them comparatively. Yeah, they are. I mean, they're so expensive. They're difficult to get a hold of in sets here without wondering whether they're genuine or not. That's the first problem. But we have a very reliable lady called Emma, and she has the coloured pencil shop here in the UK. She's got a website and she sells them open stock. I haven't bought some from her, so I don't know what the prices are like, but they're in the same price band, you know, like between a Polychromos and like a Luminance. Like they're somewhere in the middle there. That might have changed by now, but that's the way of it. But when I'm buying open stock replacements, that's where I get them from, because I know they're genuine. Luminance are perfect for Miri because she does so many portraits, colouring book ones. Well, see, I really like them for animal portraits. Yeah, so anyway, back to what I was actually doing, the Artichoke pencil. This fits in really, really well. Even though you might not think it, but if you just bear with me, you know, I can put in a little bit of something, something. And maybe that outside edge as well. Let's get a little bit of a better line down here. So that's bringing a little bit more vibrancy to the wooden part without sticking out like a sore thumb. Like, it still looks woody-y, but it's just lifting it and making it a little bit brighter. And again, I would try and keep some sort of highlight down the middle, but yeah, I quite like that. That's looking all right. What do we think to that, guys? Derwent drawing pencils, great for animals. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. I like the Derwent artist pencils as well, because they're super hard pencils. Great for fur. Like, that's my go-to for fur. Especially for short-haired breeds like Jack. When I say breeds, I'm talking about dogs, because that's mostly what I draw. But things like Jack Russells, so like smooth short-haired coats, the Derwent artist pencils, they're fabulous for that. No, just never fully awake. And I have some weird, this is Susan talking about our order that she forgot about. I have some weird and wonderful ideas at 2 AM. This one seems to have been a sticker haul, as one can never have too many stickers. See your 2 AM orders, that's my 4:30 AM orders. I think you and I might be related, Susan. There's some weird and wonderful things that seem like a great idea at 4:30 in the morning. I call that the dark hour. When I used to not sleep, like when my insomnia was really bad, I would usually wake up sometime between 3 and 4:30, and it seemed to be a time of day or night where like a lot of like negative thoughts and stuff crept in, and it quite often left me in quite a poor space mentally, and I wasn't able to get back to sleep, and I would have like a mental hangover from it when I finally woke up properly, because I would nod back off for maybe like an hour and then wake up at my normal time. And I seem to have substituted that for doing stupid things like ordering a load of stuff on the internet, which is much more preferable to having dark thoughts, let's face it. But it's funny how that's kind of left over and there's someone else that does it too. Enrico was using pencils at 3:30 AM this morning, and I couldn't find the right brown for the owls. My colouring book, God bless. Oh no. Do you know what? I'm just going to stick this right here, I've decided. I never stick my own stickers anywhere unless there's something wrong with them or they're leftovers, and that's basically what happened here. This was also a misfire. There was like a weird mark on it, so I couldn't use that one. Never stick my own stickers. I really should stick my own stickers more often, shouldn't I? Just for funsies. Come on now. There we go. Reference image, reference image. The little lemon's doing okay under there, hello. Multiple colours for owls, I would think. The reliable wee hour shopping therapy. Do you know the best thing? I'm not really much of a shopper, to be honest, unless it's cave related, like, you know, if it's for videos or something like that, that's a different thing. But generally I'm not even that way inclined, but I've done some crazy stuff at that time in the morning. I remember I went down a rabbit hole one morning, like I realised I wasn't getting back to sleep, because my rule is if I wake up in the middle of the night now, I will try and get back to sleep for at least an hour, you know, without any sort of stimulus, because obviously that keeps you awake. And if after an hour I'm not able to like get into, not necessarily a sleep, but into a resting position, then I just give it up as a bad job. But yeah, sometimes I just get a bee in my bonnet, I kind of like latch onto things that's not necessarily shopping. I went down a rabbit hole the other day. Someone was talking about 3D printing, and my dad's really into 3D printing, and I went down this like crazy avenue of like researching all the different types of filament and 3D printers. I mean, it's absolutely no use to me. I'm never going to use it. I might be able to talk to my dad in a bit more, you know, of an educated way about it. But that filled up 3 hours, no problem. And I was like, well, I've learned something. So, okay, maybe, although I'm tired, it's not completely wasted time, you know. Absolutely crazy. But the shopping and not remembering what you bought, that sounds like much more fun, Susan. Ulrika may have purchased the Polycolour brown set. She may have. Mr. Danny reads about venomous snakes and insects when he wakes up at odd hours. It's fun. You go, Mr. Danny. Why not? Ah, jeez. I got into I've got the ongoing saga of trying to buy clothes just now that fit me just now. Everything's really ill-fitting. I talked about this last week. I seem to be in between sizes, and I just want like 1 or 2 garments that I can wear that fit me well right now, just in case I have to go somewhere or I feel like, you know, being a little bit fancy. I have tried on, in the last 7 days, I have tried on no fewer than 18 pairs of jeans, and not one single pair fits me properly. It's very frustrating. So about 2 or 3 nights ago, I started looking up how they determine leg lengths, because my problem is I'm 5'3", but I have a 27-inch inside leg. I have very, very short legs. So even petite ranges, which are sometimes a 28, sometimes a 30, depending on where you look, they're all too long for me. They are all too long. And I went into this thing about finding out how they decided what was a standard leg length for women. And the thing that really annoys me about UK dress sizes, and I don't know if in Canada and the US or anywhere else it's the same, but a lot of the sort of younger and middle age fashion brands, a standard leg length is 32 inches. Mr. Jem, who's 6 foot, he has a 33 inside leg. How many women do you know with a 32 inside leg? Anyway, and that was how that started it. I think that was like 4:10 or something one morning, and the conclusion from the information that I gleaned from the lovely internet was that it's a load of shit. That's it, rant over, thanks for listening. Patty's also guilty of midnight impulse buying, which is dangerous, especially without glasses. Ah, jeez. Are yours not mostly Lego though, Patty? Let's be fair. Mary doesn't wear jeans anymore for that exact reason. Jeans, I thought you'd be looking at evening wear being such a sophisticated social button. Jan, you're so freaking sarcastic and I love it. Ah. Why are you talking about hell? Trying on denim should be classified as inhuman torture tactics. But this is the thing, right? You've got to remember, guys, I'm a farmer. Like, denim is our go-to because it's durable, it's thick, and you can dress denim up and down really, really easily without having to make too much of an effort. See, it's right, I'm trying to explain this in context a little bit. See if you are looking to get a job in the farming industry, for example, right? Let's say you're looking for a job and you get invited to a job interview. Now, whether that's as like a sales rep for a tractor company or as a farm labourer or an artificial insemination, like whatever you want, when you turn up to a job interview, the smart interview attire is boots, jeans, a checked shirt, and sometimes a waistcoat or a gilet. And if you're going for an interview that involves being outside, say like on a farm, you take a pair of wellies with you and you change out of your smart boots into your wellies. That is like standard attire. But by the same token, you can wear those jeans while you're working and get them covered in cow poo. And then if maybe you want to go out later on after your interview, as long as you're not covered in cow poo, obviously that's a different thing. But that same pair of jeans will do you to go out for dinner and you just put on a nice pair of heels or, like a shirt and tie. But like, jeans are everything to people like me. And I will not wear, I very rarely wear anything else apart from jeans. And if I need to be a little bit smarter still, I won't wear blue jeans, I'll wear black jeans. Need to get busy and get some things done that are on my chore list for today. We'll watch back later. Okay, Yana, thanks for coming and stopping in though. It was nice to see you. And I hope the chores aren't too boring because it's not my favourite thing to do. And Martine has a CPAP machine and was reading at 1 AM last night and I noticed that Molly, one of my cats, was snoring louder than normal. I looked it up and there was no sign of either cat. So were you like hallucinating then? Or were you asleep and you didn't realise it? It was network rail chainsawing. Martine, that's the funniest thing I've heard in ages. It was network rail. Oh no. Oh lordy. Clearly you need taller heels to make the jeans work. It doesn't work, Jan, trust me, I've been there, done it, bought the t-shirt, wrote the book. Anyway, I have found, out of the 18 pairs of jeans that I've tried on, I kind of think I'm having a bit of a midlife crisis. And I want to relive my youth a little bit because wide leg jeans are really in just now and I used to wear big baggy skater jeans all the way. And I found a pair that fit me really well round the waist and they're only like an inch or two too long at the bottom. So I've got a pair. I got a pair in a 14 and a 16 to try on. The 16 fit me perfectly just now, which tells me in about 12 weeks they won't fit me anymore. So I've kept both of those pairs and I am taking them to a tailor on Friday and I'm going to get them taken up. So at least I've got something that fits me and I don't either look as if I'm like walnuts in a condom or like I'm wearing a bin bag. And that's a start, but I'll need to get slightly smarter, like bootcut jeans or something. I do find that the Joe Brown's jeans fit me really well, like they fit my shape really well because I've got quite thick thighs. And I've always got thigh room in those, and I've got a bootcut pair of those which I really like, and I've got a proper flared pair as well, that are blue jeans. The bootcut ones are black, so they're a bit smarter, but they're very expensive, and I'm kind of at that point just now. I grudge spending that kind of money on something that's maybe only going to fit me for 2 or 3 months, so it's a bit of a juggling act, but Like, just please, like, see for us, like, shorties, like, see when a pair of petite trousers is too long for you, like, it makes you feel like a bit of a mutant. Patty Chanel looking for a suitcase. Yeah, oh god, I can't believe I've like ranted on about jeans for about 15 minutes, guys. I'm really sorry, but it's a really sore point with me just now, just because, as I said last week, I feel like I should be feeling really good about things just now. I've lost a lot of weight already. Still got a long way to go. And when I try stuff on, it makes me feel so frumpy. I'm not short, I'm fun-sized. But that's the thing though, I'm not actually that short. 5'3" is on the short side, but I'm not like tiny. It's just that I've got really short legs, and it also gives me the problem of when I buy tops, quite often they're not long enough because I've got a really long back. And I'm like pulling stuff down because it's like exposing my belly button. It's like I'm a terrible shape. And I've got the Italian jeans to thank for that, so thanks, Dad. Yeah, Patty's only 5 foot, like, and 5 foot small, like that's small, it's short. I would imagine, Patty, that you have to get most things taken up, or have you got like go-to places for clothes? I'm fun-sized, I like that a lot. Okay, I think I'm quite happy with the progress on the pointy point here, and thanks for all your input on this as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll maybe do a wee mock-up of something like this with the It's a Pencil font and see what it looks like. And then I'm going to take that from there. Definitely a good shout. Oh, dropped a Prismacolor. Where did that go? I heard it. Oh no, oh no, oh no. I just want to talk a wee bit about the hillbilly internet, because I'm kind of like, I don't know how I feel about this. The main points with the hillbilly internet sticker is that it has to denote that we've got crap internet, which is obviously why the Wi-Fi bar is only like here. And I thought like having some sort of straw hat and then the old stem hanging out the mouth, but the mouth, calling that the mouth. I don't know whether to make it more hillbilly-y, and I'm not sure about colour either. Because one of the things you've got to consider when you're doing a pack of stickers like this, you don't want the same colour theme to be repeated throughout the stickers unless that's your aim, unless that's the purpose of the sticker pack. So I'm going to have to consider colour. But I kind of thought about even like a little shack, like a little rundown something or other, and we could put the Wi-Fi thing in the middle. Maybe there could be like a hole in the roof, but that would have to be a bigger sticker, I think. And I don't know whether the hat idea is better. Again, open to any and all comments on that. Danny said, well, that Prisma is garbage now because I've dropped it. That's hilarious. It's probably going to suffer a wee bit, Danny. Yeah, you're right. Mary says, as an aside, yours clothing does an extra short jeans length at 26. Ooh, sizes start at a 14. Is a 14 the lowest size, Mary? Could I put a farm fence around it? Jan, can you define what you think a farm fence is, please? Could do green for the Wi-Fi, as in green when it works, so there's another gradient if it's not. Could do green for the Wi-Fi, as in it's green when it works, so there's another gradient if not working. You love the hat and the straw. 14 is the lowest. Okay, I'm kind of like, I'm not a 14 on the bottom yet, Mary, but I'm kind of heading that way. So I don't know how. Are they? I'm sorry to badger you about this, but I'm kind of desperate. Are the sizes true to size, or are they quite small, or they wouldn't be worth looking at? But I'm really interested. Good idea on green for the wife. Okay, so we want green. Oh, well, we're spoiled for choice with green pencils here, aren't we? Let's pick the teeny weeny ones that were... I think one of these is marine green, and I can't remember what the other one is because it's been that long since I've used it. I do need a pencil extender. Oh, here's Mr. Jem, and I just heard Pip woof a little bit there. He's been making a lot of noise out in the yard, obviously doing something terribly important. Bright green at the bottom, fading out at the... Okay, yes, I'm with you. Sizes are definitely true to size. Ooh, that might be a thing. Maybe do a little computer with the hillbilly styling instead of the Wi-Fi signal. Oh, I like that idea too, Daddy. Like traffic lights are all in green. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's grab our... Let me just rub this in. I love how I'm all over this sketchbook today. This is, to me, this is how a sketchbook should be used. Like, none of this finished pages on every page nonsense. Do you know what we could do? Oh, just building on what you're saying. Hang on, I just need to make this look something remotely, get it? Remotely like a Wi-Fi signal doofity bob. We could have it green and fade it out to grey, because everyone knows that grey means no bueno. Okay. So yeah, we could have... So this would be like a really vibrant solid green. And then we could... See, we did that, and there's our gradient that we've been talking about that's much sought after for some reason. But yeah, so we could have like half a bar, or even maybe that bottom bar would be green. Let's do that. And then the next one would have like a sliver of green at the bottom, and then we would just be into grey. Because what that would also do is, if we put the straw hat on and the stem coming out, like the straw coming out at the bottom, that would make those colours really pop out as well. Kind of like that. I want, right, computer with hillbilly styling. Let's think about that then. Well, first of all, it would need to be like a desktop. It wouldn't be a laptop. Hillbillies don't have... Hillbillies don't have laptops. So we'd have to have like a big computer tower. And then we'd have like the proper old-fashioned, you know, like the big heavy screens that you used to get, showing my age. I think I'm in good company here though. And then on the screen there you could have this part. So we could pop that in on the screen. Obviously we'd make this a little bit bigger. And maybe in the disk drive or something, the floppy disk drive, we could have a bit of straw hanging out of it there, couldn't we? And we could put the hat on top of the actual, like on top of the monitor. What do we think to that idea? That could be quite fun. Now, Jem, my parents definitely have laptops. I've got laptops too, I've got two. Right, okay, right, AOL on the screen, I'm really sorry. I'm vetoing that right now. We used to have AOL Messenger, but AOL is an American company, so you can stick that. Martin, hey, older here. My first computer, we used the TV as a monitor, not even a flat screen, an old bulky TV. Did you not have... Because, well, our first, I'm trying to think about it, at school we had the old BBC computers, which was like an old-fashioned TV. But at home, the first home PCs were, it was a separate monitor. Right, well, now see, I had a ZX Spectrum as well. Okay, so I get where you're coming from. I'm thinking about, because like there was no sign of internet at that point, and you can't attribute internet to a Spectrum or a Commodore or like that kind of thing. That wasn't a thing. I'm thinking about when the internet was first invented, because sometimes it feels like that's the speed my internet runs. Yeah, and a tape deck. Yeah, because I had a ZX Spectrum as well, so that's the same thing. Danny has to dip out. Catch it on the replay, Jim Jim. Thanks for coming, Danny. You've been entertaining and great company as always. Enjoy the rest of your day. And say hi to Mr. Danny too, and to you tell him to keep looking up the bugs. Okay, so quite a lot to think about there. Right, okay, cool. I'm gonna ruminate on this one, but that's some really great ideas. I really appreciate that, guys. Thank you. That's pretty good. I think that the switch to the green is fairly good. I mean, I was thinking about, well, you didn't have Wi-Fi back in the bad old days either, but I just feel that this is a really a really easy way to depict how crap your internet is. Like, it's very concise, isn't it? Definitely a thing, but green might be the way forward. But I kind of like this idea. Tickles me a wee bit. Oh, you're in the office. I didn't realise you were actually in the office, Jan. We were just having discussions about the first computers and where ones that had monitors and ones that didn't. And I was just justifying my use of a desktop with a monitor rather than the really old computers like ZX Spectrums where you use the TV. My argument was we didn't have internet when we had those computers. A ZX Spectrum was actually the first computer that I had, and I shared it with my brother. And I remember loading up games because it was a cassette and it took ages to load, so you would put it in and load it, and then you would go and have dinner, and by the time you came back from dinner the game would be loaded and you could play it. And the noises, and I'm sure for those of you that were around at that time, the noise of the games loading, that like instantly takes you back and you're like, yes, nostalgia. Martine says, what about a wee robot dude with the hat? I just think it would make us, well, do you think we should just have a hillbilly internet set of stickers, like have it as its own little package? Yep, me and my brother shared ours. We used to get the magazine as well. Yes, yes. My favourite game on the ZX Spectrum was Dizzy, as in Dizzy Egg. So there was Fantasy World Dizzy, that was my favourite and the only one that I ever completed. So he was like a little egg with boxing gloves. I'm sure I've done a video on that somewhere. Did I not? Did I not draw Dizzy Egg at one point? And he's got a safari hat and boxing gloves. Ulrika loves Dizzy too. Yeah, that was my favourite. And that game translated really well because after I had the ZX Spectrum, I had an Atari ST and the graphics were so much better. And there was a lot of ports that went over. And I loved playing the Atari ST version of Fantasy World Dizzy because the graphics were so much better. It was amazing. That like absolutely made my century. Attic Attack or Horus for me. Ulrika still remembers the cheat codes for the Atari version. That's amazing. So good. There was so many good games on the Atari. So many. Patty had an Atari as well. I think your brother still has it. It's funny because most people I talk to, when you talk about like really old games and computers, everyone always mentions the ZX Spectrum, and the Commodore 64 is the other one. And not very many people had the Atari ST. But I'm glad that you're bringing it up. Mary says you can get them all ported for PC. Yeah, I've got loads of emulators. You still remember the Rainbow Islands cheat codes as well. There's another great game. I loved New Zealand Story as well. The one with the little bird in it. I absolutely loved that, and that was made by the same people that did Rainbow Islands. Patty says I think Zelda was the first game I played in front. Oh no, I was playing games before Zelda was a... Well, no, not before Zelda was a thing, but before I had a Nintendo for sure. Jan says the first machine I worked on was in command mode, and one you had to load by flicking switches, literally booby-trapping it. Oh no, bootstrapping, booby-trapping. Bootstrapping to start it up. Hey Art, Jules, how you doing? Mary got her first desktop PC in 1992. I would have to ask my dad. The first desktop PC that we had at home that was for everyone was an Apricot computer. I don't know what year that was. I'll ask Papa Jem and I'll get back to you just out of curiosity, but I think I was quite young. So, Mary, I am that old. Well, I don't know, I don't think we would have been that far behind you. Maybe 94? I would have been 10 in 94. Maybe before that, actually. Hi, Susie, how you doing? Been hoovering in the background, making coffee, getting ready for work. Oh, nice of you to join us for a wee while. I'm actually just going to dip out. I really need to go to the little girls' room. I think we've explored this well enough, and I want to thank you all so much for your help with this. So I'm going to go and relieve myself, but I'm going to switch out everything that's kicking about here, and I'm going to bring in some scrapbook supplies, and hopefully you guys can help me pick something for my next scrapbook page. So you are now allowed to have the discussion about what you're having for dinner. Obviously, you have been authorised to do that, and I shall be back in just a jiffy. Oh dear, I'm button pressing. I was just having a wee giggle there. I was trying to catch up in the chat before I kind of like put my face back up. And some of the comments, like Mary got her first desktop in 1992. And then I scrolled down a little bit and Ulrika says she definitely had a desktop PC in 1993 in the Atari, which sounds about right to me. And then Susie says she was talking to her class last night about Amstrads. Like, we definitely had an Amstrad at one point as well. That was amazing. Patty's like, I don't know, I'd already been working 16 years in 1994. That's tickled me. Martine says, question for everyone, how many cream eggs is too many? From me, one. Again, don't have a sweet tooth. I think they're absolutely revolting. But also the quality of cream eggs, I have been reliably informed, has gone downhill substantially in the last little while. Susie says, doing good, Jem might be gone by the time the break's over. Other hand, well, that's fine. If you're away, Susie, bye-bye. Spicy scrambled egg. Ooh. Ooh. Is there a limit if you like them? I personally don't. Yeah, Patty, I'm with you on that one. Ulrika is having ham, eggs, chips, peas and a grilled tomato. Do you know something? Mr. Jem would bite your hand off for that. He's a very simple man. Like, he's so easily pleased when it comes to food. And he likes really simple dinners like that. Seems to be an egg theme going on. Martine's skipping Fat Club tonight and just munched some. You need a break every now and then. That's fair, Martine. Eggs used to be a nice inexpensive dinner. Now my grocery store is limiting the number of dozens you can buy at one time to 2. Sandwiches. If you have a large household, then you may need to buy 2 or more dozen at a time. Well, yeah, I don't really have that problem. Mr. Jem's not really a fan of eggs. I like them for breakfast. Maybe an omelette at lunchtime. We actually don't eat a lot of eggs and we get given ours. One of our lovely neighbours, who she has her own chooks, who seem to have a death wish. They like to be in the middle of the road, and they're also venturing out. They're very free range. They're venturing out into the fields and they are now pecking at Mr. Jem's crops as well, which he's not very happy about. Fish fingers, chips, peas for tea last night. Again, there's another meal that Mr. Jem would cut your hand off, his hand off for, Mary. Yeah, cream eggs, not my thing either. Absolutely not. I needed a simple option today after having a poor night's sleep. Well, I understand that as well. I've already had this discussion. I had an impromptu visit from my brother-in-law last night. So that's Mr. Jem's older brother, who I absolutely love to bits. He's 100% chaos in the best possible way. So he stayed with us last night, and the tradition is that when he comes to see us, we always get a Chinese takeaway. So we are having our leftover Chinese from last night, and we'll just bulk it out with a few bits and bobs. Normally after doing a stream, I don't tend to cook anything complicated. I like to keep it quite simple. So that's what we are doing tonight. I have got half of a combination chow mein left, so that's what I'll be having for dinner. Anywho's, right, so here's my situation now with the scrapbook and stuff. I've got a little collection of bits and bobs. Let me just put my squeezy thing back. I've got a collection of bits and bobs that I have acquired. I bought a few things, but I have acquired other scrapbooking items. Ulrika, I'm looking at you. And it's things that I haven't used yet. So what I'd like to do is show you some of them. And if anybody has a theme or idea about what I could base the page on, then you can give me your suggestions. And then maybe we can pick out some other stuff from the other supplies that I've got. And that will set me up nicely for my next page. So the basket of stuff that I've got here, I might just bring it over. So here's something that I haven't really used. I've got this stencil, and I've got a couple of distress inks, not very many, like not very many colours, but I've got loads and loads of pan pastels, and I was thinking I could maybe do something with that. It's quite an elegant design. And I also have these little, I call them doilies. I've probably got a proper name. So these are paper. But I have these little cutouts here, which I think they're so pretty, and this obviously sage green's like one of my favourite colours, but there's quite a few design choices there. So we've got those, and I've also randomly, this was a clearance, it was a house clearance that someone else had done, but they thought that I would like them, and it's like word sheets. So the phrases are kind of weird, honestly, but these are like gold with like a hollow effect on them. Don't worry, good things take time. That's the top left there. But then there's big words like meditation. So there's quite a lot of that. Yeah, and there's loads of different font styles and things. So I don't know whether I'm like maybe to select one of those words and try and build a page around that. So I've got those as well, and I've got randomly these two scraps, and this fell out of something. It's kind of hard to see in the light, and it's just like a little label. This is cardboard, it's not sticking or anything. It says daily life eternity, but it's got a couple of lines on it, and this little scrap of a frog with claws and wings. Not really sure what that's about either, but I thought that was quite interesting. So these are the types of things that are kicking about in the cave just now, and I'm like, can I get a page out of these? And the other thing that I got as well, I have this one sticker of this beautiful rose, but it's got like these kind of like almost gothic black drippy bits, and I thought that would make quite a nice centerpiece, because the scrapbook I'm using just now is like around A6 size, so that would take up most of the page. So would that be a centerpiece, and I could have stuff around about it. So there's that. And then the last thing I've got here is this was something I ordered, and it's a roll of tape. I'm sure some of you have seen this or are familiar with it. Let me just crinkle this away from the microphone a bit. So it's like a set of frames, but these all peel out, so you've got like individual frames in different sizes, but this is like a lavender theme, so there's white with lavender accents, and then the inverse of that, and I have a whole roll of this, so I don't know whether to do like a colour theme with that. So if anybody's got any suggestions around anything here, I'm sure I could find other stuff that would go with it, and we would maybe make something with it. I know most of you aren't into ASMR, but it's a great noise, crinkly noise that. Okay, let's see what we've got. Everyone's like, oh, pretty. Mary had Chinese for lunch today, but Sainsbury's finest rather than takeaway. Infinitely healthier option, I can guarantee that. It sounds like my brother Chaos. Oh, he absolutely is, like, of the highest order. He's the kind of, he's very impulsive. He bought a boat at one point. He has no boating experience. He's not a mariner, but he decided to buy a boat. He still has his boat. I don't know if he's actually been out in the water with it, but apparently it's got a hole in it. Oh, pretty. Winter Nordic or Frozen inspired art. Okay. You could do a Victoriana style image. Definitely Victoriana. Then Gothic Beauty. Oh, Gothic Beauty. Rose makes me think Beauty and the Beast. Or like a Gothic Beauty and the Beast. Oh. Oh, that sounds fun. Okay, goth style Beauty and the Beast. Or maybe just a goth style. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Well, I like where this is going. Big stencil could be used to make hair for Mother Goddess style figures holding. Oh, Martin, now you're getting spicy. So maybe we should stick with this and see if I can find, because I tell you what I do have, just when you've said that, that could be, maybe we could use something like, that might go with that a little bit. Okay. Oh, this could be a battle, right? Okay, hang on now. Right, that's the creative juices have been kick-started, my friends. We might even be able to find some lettering in the gold. That's, yeah, maybe. Okay, right, hang on. Because I do have somewhere. I've got these. Again, I'm trying to crinkle away from the microphone so that I don't upset everybody. Lacy bits, yeah. Yeah, see, doilies, yeah, doilies. I've got this little pack of stickers. I'm pretty sure these are AI and I kind of wish I hadn't bought them, but here we are. But this is like black roses and things. Hang on, move these out of the way so we can see. But there's lots of really nice designs here. Like there's a crow with some black roses, so that would kind of fit in with the theme. So maybe we could pick something out of there. There's roses in a jar as well. So that might work. Oh, you guys are the best. Oh, look at that one. Oh, yes. Right, okay. So let's keep these in the vicinity. So we could do like a pale, like see this stencil. Oh, this is getting exciting, guys. Mary's like, oh, yes. Ooh. We're getting a bit excited. I don't think I've got anything else in this basket that would fit in. This is all black stuff as well, but I think it's more like moons and stuff. Yeah, this is very planetary based. Oh, there's a whale. That's not planetary based. Let's see if there's anything here. Oh, there's goldfish in here. This is a bit random. I don't think there's anything that's tickling me. There's a jar there. If we're kind of heading down the Beauty and the Beast route, we would want some books as well, wouldn't we? Oh look, owls! See, again, we've got colours here though. These would kind of tie in with this. But one of the challenges I've got just now with scrapbooking is the book that I'm using, I'm very limited for space. And what happens is I pick out a whole load of things and then shortlist them, and a lot of stuff gets left out just because I don't have room. But I think that this might be worth keeping. There's some books there. Maybe not quite what I'm looking for. Oh, this has got more modern, I'll say more modern things in it, but there was a cassette tape there, that's more modern than Victoriana. Okay. More planets. Okay, right, so that's a maybe. Whale is planetary if you count Star Trek Search for Spock. Or Hitchhiker's Guide, yes. That's the fair points. You like the lilac frame stickers too? But this is, can you see my dilemma here? This is only a little handful of stuff that I've picked up. And there's like a million different directions you could go in. And I do get quite easily stressed out and overwhelmed by stuff like that. I kind of like this route that we're going though. Right, I don't think there's anything else in here that I would want. I'm just checking. Because this is giving me a theme, but it's also giving me a colour scheme as well. And that is like peak. I'm ready to do a sketchbook page. This is one of the I showed one of these before, I'm sure. I don't know whether it was in a video or a live stream, but the Peter Popper books. And I bought this specifically, and this is the mystical one, and I'm pretty sure there'll be stuff in here that I can use, because there's well, there are crows and skulls and all sorts of stuff in here. Let's see. Let's flick. I've got to flick backwards because I'm left-handed. But I'm thinking more colour scheme here rather than. Oh, this is my reference though. Oh, come on, doily. So I'm thinking black or. I tell you something, like, see when I look through scrapbooking stuff, I'm absolutely sick of the sight of butterflies. Like, see if I see another butterfly, like, just know. Butterflies. Oh, there's an owl with a candle and glasses on. Oh my dear lord. I'ma have to do another owl page really soon. These are maybe a bit too. Oh, these are nice as well. I'm sure this was the book that I saw like a knockoff Harry Potter page in. Oh, these are cute too. Look, it's like fairy garden stuff. Oh, there we go. A nice cauldron there. Books. Oh, see, books. That's the kind of books I'm thinking. Yeah, look, this one. So for those of you that are Harry Potter fans, tell me that that's not Harry Potter based, because that's definitely a sorting hat. A Quidditch broom. Owls with letters. I mean, come on. But they are really nice. Like, they're lovely stickers. And these sticker books are really, really high quality. See, even if you're not a scrapbook, or maybe you're like a journaler, or you know, like a bullet journaler, these books are like great to have, because you get labels and things as well, and borders to pretty up whatever it is you're doing. Highly recommend these. And most of these books retail, like, there's different genres or different subjects. They all retail around £10, but you're like 900 stickers for £10. And the paper quality and everything's really, really good. Highly, highly recommend these. I'm getting a bit carried away with myself now. I'm like, oh, the stickers. But I'm sure we could fit. Oh, we're kind of. We're almost into like. Okay, right. I might have to keep this out too. I think there might be like a thing or two. There's more. That's maybe more fitting. Well, that's kind of 20s style though, isn't it? I think I might have to keep this one out. Oh, I love this as well. Spells. Okay, yeah, I think I'll keep this one out too. But see, this is what I do. Like, I pick out loads of stuff and then I narrow it down. And then I try to like build a page from it. The colour of the back pages of your book would be good for the background. Okay. Susan has 370 new stickers of various topics, plus 3 washi tapes that I've added to my other 3 billion stickers and washi tapes. Yeah. Do you want to see my washi tape collection? It's ridiculous. I really like the transparent washi tapes. That's not washi tape, it's PET tape. So it's like individual stickers. I absolutely love them and I will buy them all day long. But I'm trying to source ones that aren't AI generated, and it's not the easiest thing to do. But I got given, again, that was it was someone who'd given up scrapbooking and they gave me all their washi tapes, so a lot of them I kind of acquired. But I need to stop saying washi tapes, PE tapes. Y'all are gonna die when I show you this. That's what I've got, and that's not all of them. They're so pretty though, but there's kind of like gothic ones here. But most of the gothic ones are like red and blacks, and I feel that that's a bit severe for what we need, because there's like roses and things. And then there's this one as well. I'm not sure any of these are going to fit in with my colour scheme that I'm going for. I might have to do a bit of digging. This one might though. I know that sounds a bit weird, but thinking about this rose that we were talking about, this is Alice in Wonderland, but there's like flowers and things that might fit, so I'll keep that out too. I don't think there's anything else in there that I would necessarily want. I might lift out these gothic ones because there might be an odd element that I like. Okay, cool. And there's the magic box. Roses bottom right of box. These ones, they're too pink. They're really pink. Yeah, they're a bit too cheery. Okay, so that's that then. But I think I've got pale roses somewhere. Oh no, they're green. Yeah, this one maybe. Like this is actually my favourite part of scrapbooking is like raking through all the bits I've got. But when we were talking about a Beauty and the Beast theme, I don't think I've got like anything that would be a dome, but I've got these stickers. So they're transparent, but they're like jars. So maybe we could put the rose in a jar rather than a glass dome. Hello Ivy, how are you? Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. So maybe have a look through those. But what I was raking about there for was I've got this set of white roses, and they seem to be quite similar to what's going on here, maybe a bit paler. So I might find something in here that's cool as well. These are all individual. These are all individual. Well, chucking stuff about already. Good grief. My. Right, let me just make a wee yes pile. This is getting a bit wild, guys. Oh, there's the little house. That's so cute as well. Right, let me just pop this up out the way wee bit so you can see what's going on. This is definitely going to be the centrepiece. That might not fit. I might have to cut it down a little bit to fit in one of these stickers. Because I've got they're like jars with corks on. It's difficult to see because of the light and the cellophane. But they're what I would call jam jars. And then there's like potion bottle ones. So I can have a dig through those at a later stage. Right, so this pack that I'm just looking at, I was thinking like this one, like that's very similar. If I just, if I pull this out, look, that's, you know. I don't think we want a green lantern, although that is super cute. Oh. Maybe this one might be an option. Okay. I don't think I need a fence for anything. There's a little birdhouse as well. That is such a beautiful sticker. Like that's so pretty with the little birdies. I like that a lot. There's a garden bench or a park bench. Like these are lovely, these stickers. Again, this was just a pack that I was given. That's the same as that one. I think I'm getting 2 of every design. Kind of want like a black wrought iron fence as well, though I'm not really sure how that would fit in with what we're doing, but it's just an idea. If you have a test tube, oh, the wee planetarium things. If you have a test tube one, you could put it upside down over a rose. I don't think I do. They say they're all like, but I can cut bits off of them, that's the thing. Like if I take one of these wider ones, I don't think they're round at the bottom, but you know, I could turn that way and chop this bit off. So that's a really good idea as well. A gothic collection of plants and jars. See, all the ideas are coming out now. Oh, look how pretty that tree is as well. Oh, a winter tree. I love that one too. A weird winter archway that's made of trees, kind of. This is a really pretty set of stickers. Oh, the fact that I didn't even pay for these is crazy. Okay, yeah, I think these ones are maybe more what we're going for. I was really hoping I would find something. That's pleased me. The view from a gothic greenhouse looking out on the actual garden. Do you know, I really like that idea, Martin. I think that would do better on like a larger page. Say I'm kind of limited the space in the little scrapbook that I've got just now, and I deliberately picked it because number one, that little book, it's handmade, it's handmade paper and it's hand bound. Mr. Jem bought me that years ago when I still did a lot of like journaling or bullet journaling, and it was one of those little books that I looked at and thought that's going to have a purpose one day, but it's just not right now. And here we are, and I wanted to start with a small book because I haven't scrapbooked for about 6 or 7 years, and I didn't want to have this like vast expanse of paper to cover. So I would like to continue on with that, but that's an idea that I would definitely keep for a bigger scrapbook page because I would have more room for manoeuvre, if you know what I mean. But yeah, well, that was fun. I liked that a lot. So I've got some. This isn't scraps in the paper sense, but they kind of are. It's like paper-esque. And I'm just wondering, you know, for like background. I'll pick something out. I've got quite a lot of green in here. This is, see this little paper bag, I've got quite a few of these. The lady, Emma, that I was talking about earlier, that's got the colour pencil shop, when she ships her pencils, she ships them in stripy bags. So I've got pink, blue and black ones of these. But the minute I saw this, I was like, I need to do a Beetlejuice page. Right, let's see if we've got something that might be quite nice in here. I really love this knobbly bobbly stuff as well, but I've not found a use for it yet. That's a bit swanky. If you use pan pastels, won't you have a problem with the sticker sticking? The way I get round that, Michelle, is when I've put the pan pastel down, I blow off the excess, just like, and then I spray it with workable fixative, and that holds it in place, and the stickers stick very well to the fixative. So that's, I like that for that, but I want like gothy. Right, no, I don't think there's anything in here that I want. Okay, that's fine. That's okay. Let's pop that back in there. Okay, the last port of call that I've got for the old-fashioned paper one. What did this one? Was that the one you were talking about, Mary? I love a good workable fixative. Well, here in the UK, the Windsor, yeah, the Winsor and Newton one is very easily accessible, and it works really well for me. So it's the one that's got the yellow label on it. If you're outside of the UK, the Krylon brand workable fixative is very popular. I've never used it personally, but that's kind of the go-to. Yeah, it looks like handmade old-fashioned paper. Okay, I tell you what, Mary, seeing as it's you, will I keep it out and just see if we maybe sneak it in somewhere? Why not? Right, I've got one more port of call for you. And I think we've probably got enough to be getting on. First of all, just while I'm here somewhere. Ivy, that's just for you. That's the one that I use. I see this is readily available in the UK and the EU, and it works great, but I also use it as a final fixative, not just for in between layers. There's no like sticky residue or anything on it. It's really good and it can last ages. Just have to use it in a really, really well ventilated area. Let me pop that back in my solvents cupboard. Yes, I have a solvents cupboard, that's a thing. Right, yeah, so my last port of call is down here. I used to keep photographs in this. This is all scraps now. Oh, you use the Krylon? Yeah, that's easy to get hold of here, and if you can't get hold of it, it's quite expensive. Yes, so I've got all these little boxes, say they're photograph sized. So let me see if there's anything in here that might be of use. I'm thinking more about like background paper, because we've got stickers and things, and we've got washi tapes and one thing and another. I literally have like a box of owls. That's all owls in there. Not sure. Oh my goodness. There might be something in there. Maybe something in there. I haven't really got these categorised completely. That's envelopes. Maybe some labels. Okay. So let me pop this down out the way. Does it change the colour of the end result of the pastels? It darkens them down a tiny bit, but it's not, you know, it's not enough to complain about, if you know what I mean. Right, okay, so let's see what we've got here. This little pad, this was given to me as well, and it's basically like paintings, but there's so many pictures in it. And I'm just wondering if there's anything. I'm trying to stay like kind of gothic or Victorian-esque. I think we're mostly landscapes though. I don't think a lighthouse is going to help us right now. Oh, now here we go. That would go really well with those lilac frames, wouldn't it? I think I might need to do a lilac page after this. Let me see what else we've got in here. Or maybe another, I think we've got enough in the way of flowers. I was about to say maybe another like pale coloured rose, but we've got loads of flowers already. Oh, I don't think there's anything particularly exciting in there. Okay. Now, here I've got a couple of these. These are like spooky, kind of like more gothic type papers. I've got 2 sets of these specifically. The Lost Ship series and Mysterious Attraction. Because these are very, very gothy, sort of dark. I don't think we're quite into spider webs though, or moths. This might just be a bit too much. Okay, maybe not. And these ones have like a purple theme. We're heading towards the purple theme. Well, that's really pretty as well. I like that one. Doesn't fit with what we've got, but more moons, owls. All in for the owls. Yeah, no, I think these are really nice, but I don't think they're going to fit in with what we're looking for. Okay, fair enough. It's worth a look. Hello, April. Nice to see you. How you doing? Yeah, no, we're here. We're picking scrapbooking supplies. I'm just going through my mountains of scraps. I was kind of looking for like background scraps. We've got this stencil, which I think I'm definitely going to use, and maybe this paper, but I'm looking for a wee bit of contrast because this is the centerpiece, April. This is going to be the main feature. So we're going kind of like gothy Beauty and the Beast maybe. So let's see what's going on in here. These 2 boxes aren't sorted. They're literally just crammed in, and they were put in because they fit in the boxes. But yeah, I really want something darker. I want some contrast because like I think that would fit in really well, but we're kind of already there with that. So everything's very beige. We've got darker ones here. I've got a funny feeling that the dark ones are all like astronomy, astrology, yeah, like more planets and stuff. I think in my mind I'm looking for like ravens or like just like a dark night sky or something, and I'm not sure if I've got that, honestly. The central sun, no, that's a bit much. Ew. It's not tickling me. Oh, hello. Oh, look. Scrapbooky papers, yeah. I think my collection has regenerated itself fairly quickly, but since I mentioned to people that I've started to scrapbook again, everyone's like, "Oh, hey, you can have this," and I'm like, "Whoa, okay then." Like, what? I didn't even know, what is that? That's lots of anemones, and I didn't even know that existed. That one looks a little bit phallic. My goodness. This ticket entitles the bearer to one pay one passage to Newport, Providence in the experiment. I kind of like this like vintage metal board theme as well. That's a thing for me. Like, what have we got in here? Oh, now. Oh, right. Now we're talking. I think, yeah, right. I definitely adding that one in. Might be something somewhere. Use a dark image and stencil something gold over it. Well, again, that's an option because I've got the stencil. I'm not ruling anything out at this point. And obviously I've got lots of like metallic paints, you know. Oh. And this is exactly why I do this process. Because I take all the maybes and then as I start to build the picture I narrow it down. Just give myself like as many options as possible. And I say this is actually the bit that I enjoy about scrapbooking the most. So, yeah. Oh, there's all... These are kind of larger scraps, so these are more like almost A6 size. I feel some owls. Yeah, I was going to say there's definitely... definitely owls here. Those are AI generated though, which... I do try and avoid, honestly, because I'm not a fan of AI generally. I know it's very difficult to avoid it, but if I can make the conscious effort to do it, I will. I always think that's really pretty. That was a birthday card that was sent to me by one of my friends, and I was like, oh, that would be nice in a scrapbook somewhere. Oh, look, there's another one. Look. Oh, that might be helpful too. Okay, let's leave that one out. I do think I need to sit down, especially with the paper scraps. I feel as if I need to like just organise them a wee bit better. Much as I enjoy this process, I think I could speed it up a little bit, like just for my own sanity. I mean, we're having a jolly old time here, to be fair. Oh, we're stuck. Tickets. So yeah, these are all like tickets and tags, which again we could maybe incorporate. That's Lily's, but okay. Let me pop these out the way. Traveller, we don't want travellers. Book related ones though. See if this didn't have like the steampunky stuff on it, that would have been really nice. It's too steampunky for my liking though, but that's something that I would quite like to use. I've used one of these before as well. That would be quite nice. That would go with our doily situation. I'll leave one of those out too. Well, there's so much stuff in here. Mushrooms. Stags. J.N. Harris, druggist. Everyone needs a good druggist in their life. Okay. Absolutely love this stamp as well. Carrickfergus Castle, so it's a Scottish stamp. I really like this because of the please autofocus. Why are you not working autofocus? It's fine, I'll do it manually. Oh, come on. There we go. Carrickfergus, obviously, that's close to our heart. And I just liked it because of the shade of green it was, so I kept it. As you do. As you do. Right, well, I think we're kind of done. Half of me wants to keep one of these out to go with like the bookish part of the theme. Yeah. And the thing is, if I don't use stuff, I just put them back in the boxes. It's fine. Looking through them is fun too, yeah. I think I spend more time like looking through them and organising my scraps than I do actually scrapbooking. Scrapbooking at 70 miles per hour, fun. Did that tickle you a wee bit, Jan? Did you like that? The last one I've got here, I don't think there's going to be anything in here. So this is like cardboard scraps. But I feel these might be a bit too... yeah, these are all very... Like, I absolutely love that one. Like, that's just... That's so pretty with the moon and the swirly clouds. I love that. I have a huge bag. Again, this was a gift. I have like a million of these stained glass, like black background scraps, and I'm like, there's only so many uses you have for these. There's a lot of cats involved as well. If anyone in the chat would like some of these in particular, I mean, there's hundreds of them. I would be happy to send these to someone if they would pay the postage. Like, I don't want anything for them. But there's so many of them, and I'll never use all these, but the colours are really pretty. So even if you weren't going specifically for a dark theme or a cat theme, you know, you can incorporate the colours, which are lovely. But yes, it's a lot of cats. It's a lot of cats. I don't think that's quite what we're needing though. Not this time. I love this telescope one as well, look. That would be really nice on a steampunky theme page. Yeah, I don't think we need anything in here either. The cats are cute. You would use them as a cover for a sketchbook. Well, if you would like some, Martine, then you are more than welcome to them. And obviously stuff like that's really cheap to send in the post because they're flat and they're light. So please, if you would like some, please email me because I would be more than happy to share that around because there's a metric butt ton of them. Okay, no, I think we've got enough to be getting on with. Let me just put these back. Oh, all my limbs hurt. I think I'm getting too old for this regular exercise. I'll just pop all these back. These are a really good investment. See if you are a scrapbooker, or maybe if you're just a sticker enthusiast like Susan. These are great. See, they were originally designed to hold photographs in, which is what I used to use it for. But I looked recently because I kind of wanted another one of these to put the stickers in. So this is all scraps. And I thought if I had a second one that I could put stickers in, that would like really help me organise what's going on. And you can still get these. I think I got mine from Hobbycraft years ago, but you can get them on Amazon. I don't know how much they are though. Like, wait, right, I've messed something up here. Yeah, that goes in there. Keep myself right. Because just now I've got like baskets and boxes and tins and weird shaped bowls. But this is everything all in one place. And you can, you know, it's got a handle on it, but you can store it flat or you can store it on its side. And that's been really good for my rapidly increasing set of scraps. Okay, so just to round us off then. Yeah, you're more than welcome to them, honestly, Martine. I mean that genuinely. So just drop me an email or DM me on one of the socials or whatever and I will get you sorted out, no problem. Okay, so right, this is what we're going to go with. We are looking at a slightly gothic stroke Beauty and the Beast theme with this as the central piece. And we've got these little flowers here too. We've got some background stroke frame scraps. I'm really keen on this one. Like, I'm really keen on that. This is lovely. This is like recycled handmade typey paper. Really like it. And we've got this ticket and this background as well, which is suitably murky. We've got the black PET roses and stickers and things, so I might pick out one of them. We've got the doily. And we've got these transparent jars stroke bottles, which as Martine suggested, I might turn one upside down and cut the bottom of it to make a dome for the rose, and that would keep with the Beauty and the Beast theme. We've got this stencil for the background, and in these two books there were stickers with books in them, again thinking Beauty and the Beast theme. And if all else fails, I've got some gothic stroke well, that one fits the flower colour theme, but I've got Gothic stuff here too. So what I do now is I will take this all away and I will start to kind of imagine, and I do it in layers. So this is going to be my background layer, so I would pick a colour and then try and build up from there, and that's how I whittle down what I'm using, and everything else obviously just goes back in the boxes for another time. And that is basically the scrapbooking process. I was actually going to do a video on my scrapbooking process, but I'm kind of saturated with video ideas just now, so I might leave that for a bit further down the line. Speaking of videos and cave activity, there will be, we've got the early bird live stream on Saturday morning. So for those of you in the UK that are early birds, or surrounding Europe, that's quite close to us time zone wise, I will be starting that live stream at 6:30 in the morning UK time, which is approximately an hour after I normally get up. I will be in my pyjamas, I will have tea, I will be sans makeup and anything that makes me look remotely human, and we're going to have a really cosy, easy, gentle start to Saturday. For those of you that are outside the time zones, which I imagine most of you won't be that are in the chat right now, that allows other people to join in. For the likes of our friends in Australia, that will make it early afternoon or late afternoon or early evening for them, and they never get to join in with a live. So if any of you are going to be around at that time, please feel free to join me on Saturday morning, which will be Saturday evening for a lot of you, or very, very late on Friday night if you're the other side, if you're America. Please feel free to join in. I don't actually know how much of an attendance we're going to have, but I felt like it's something that I really wanted to do, because I'm always up really early in the mornings anyway, and at the weekend just now, because it's February, it's still quite dark early on, and they're kind of lost hours for me. Like, I can't go out running because it's pitch black and we have no street lights, so there's that. So, you know, I figured it would just be nice for a wee change to give some of our more worldwide cavers a chance to join in a live. So if you can make it, I'm going to be running till about 8:30, so 2 hours from the start time. So even if you're not a really early bird in the UK, you could maybe pop in for the last like 20 minutes or something like that, depending on what you do with your Saturdays. Hello, Kitara. My hair looks nice. Oh, thank you. We're au natural today. We showered and washed the hair earlier. No product, just gem hair, straight gem hair, or not straight as the case may be. Badly need a haircut though, it's getting a bit out of hand. Oh no, you mentioned the time my internal system may well wake me. Well, Jan, I'm not gonna twist your arm behind your back. And that's right, it's your birthday. Oh, maybe if you pop in, we'll give you a special birthday surprise. What about 8:25? Could you manage that? Martina, I'm more likely to be a late bird if Network Rail are still cutting trees. Oh, I really hope for your sake that Network Rail get their act together. That's amazing. Guys, I want to thank you very much. I'm going to wrap it up here. I've had a really good afternoon. This has been really good fun. It's been very productive as well. And I'm glad that I'm feeling a bit perkier than I did earlier, because I was genuinely, like just before lunchtime, I was a bit worried that I was going to have to cancel this. But you guys have helped me out a lot today, and I've enjoyed the chat about the vintage computers as well. That's been fun, and Martin's hallucinations about Network Rail. That's really tickled me today. So hopefully I'll see some of you on Saturday. I am planning on sticking out a video maybe in the next 5 days or so. It's just whenever I get it finished. I have started filming, but I've not finished. I'm not in such a rush because we're live streaming on Saturday morning as well, but there will still be videos out if the live stream is not your thing. I will keep you updated also on the sticker situation, and I'll show you some mock-ups and stuff. Katara specifically, I have found googly eyes. I knew I had some somewhere. And I will be regaling you with a picture of the paintbrush with googly eyes on the community tab just shortly, so you specifically can keep your eyes peeled for that, just for a giggle. Hi Elise, I'm glad you managed to slip in at the end here. Yeah, the replay will be up almost straight away, so you can go back and watch everything through. I want to thank you all very, very much for coming. I've had a really good afternoon. I'm really enjoying these Wednesday afternoons, and it's nice because we've got a kind of like smaller group. I feel like it's more intimate and we can chat more. I've had a really good afternoon. I hope you have too, and I will see you back here in the cave really soon for more fun and playing with art stuff. So enjoy the rest of your Wednesdays, and I will see you all very, very soon.